won't withhold the information. We're looking at a skills-based curriculum. They need to withhold that information. They need to become happy with it. They need to become comfortable. Okay, so later we're going to look at Bloom's taxonomy, and the list you've got there of Bloom's taxonomy. A child that can teach someone else to do something is a child that will remember that forever. Okay? There's children in segundo de eso that have taught things in primero de eso at the beginning of the year, and you come back to it and they still remember it. It's the proof that it works. I'm not scared of going back to the beginning of primero de eso and talk about the big numbers or the planets or atoms or whatever it is. I'm not scared of it because usually they remember it. And if they remember it, if they remember it 2 years later, it's because they have it internalized. And anybody who's ever tried to study anything, I guess everybody here has been a student, having something internalized is when you know how to do it. Is when you're confident with it. Okay, so when you're designing things, standing here for an hour and talking, it's not going to get anyone anywhere. It's going to get you frustrated, it's going to get your students frustrated. And they're going to behave very badly, probably. So the more interested, the more motivated they are, the more you're going to get from them, and the less discipline problems you're going to have as a teacher. How can we do this? No hands up. Today, we've done no hands up. How have I got information from you today in this session? What strategies have I used to get information from you? Discussing groups, writing down on cards, holding up whiteboards. At any point, did I point a finger at someone and say, you? I said, share your information, no? But you've always been given time to think. You've always been given time to share information. You've been given a way to organise that information. So when you are eventually asked to give your opinion, you've got something to say. I think there's various studies being done about wait time, and the wait time is very, very important, because usually teachers, I think in a study done in Britain, they gave students 2 seconds to answer the question before moving on to someone else. We don't think like that. We don't think that quickly. Okay? So using strategies to get everybody involved is very important. Okay, and we're going to have to call it a day there, because
I hope the science teacher, or even, I can do it even before that teacher starts the lesson. For example, I think it's Egypt, social science. Before they start with Egypt, we read The Curse of the Mummy. The Curse of the Mummy, and we do it in literacy. We read the book, go through the words, talk about it, learn the vocabulary, and then they go to start Egypt, and everybody knows everything. Well, everything. You understand? You see what I mean? But that means that we need sessions and sessions and sessions. Okay? So you could do this one, or this one, or you can do both. Because sometimes the teacher tells you, look, I want you to reinforce the vocabulary. Or maybe I would like you to do a writing exercise. It all depends on what the science teacher wants. So you can write the date up here, the unit, and the science teacher will tell you, I want some speaking on this, because they're going to prepare a speech in class on science. It's their oral exam in science, and I want you to help them.
And would you give them this sort of workbook so that they would...
The science teacher has to give me stuff there, man.
But would they do it beforehand so that then you can...
Yeah, it all depends. It all depends what they...
proposal.
That's it. Because he could say, look, I want you to check this before we start, because I notice that they don't speak very well, they don't know this, or vice versa. After they've done it, I want you to check if they know it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter, I'm doing English anyway.
Yeah,
Look, I've got an exercise
So
here.
we lose the other part of the group, right? So this technique of think, pair, share would be, all right, I want you to think about it, okay? Now, You all got partners, talk about it. Okay? You pair. And then we're going to share it. Okay? This does not mean for one silly question I'm using 5 minutes. This could be a minute. Depending. How far do we want our thinking? You want deeper thinking? Or you just want an answer? If you just want an answer, like what's the capital, boom. Right? Okay. But we always want to make everyone come in. In the bilingual project here that we have in Mexico, we don't have flexibles, do we? You don't have this dobles. At least we don't in Asturias, but I mean it's not. So you have all types of levels, all types of ability students, right? So this is a good technique. And then they're going to share. You're going to share your information. Okay? And why do you think that? And what would you do? Alright? Okay. Things to keep in mind, right? If we want this interactive classroom, we want to create this atmosphere, right? Students should feel confident, positive reinforcement to promote participation. Okay? Try to use authentic materials. If they can relate to it, they're interested. Right? Now, I have some books in here. Right. The geography books. These are all history. The geography books. If you use British books, are they going to relate to the case studies of the London Docklands? No. Take people out. Take you home. Take something local where you're from, right? Okay. They can relate to it. Right? And notice we're going to remember, if they see us motivated, it's the same thing over and over again. You feed them, they feed you that motivation. Okay? Yeah? Okay. How to get started? All right. I say this in every beginning lesson I do. Right? After class, we're thinking about the time, how hungry you were, one's coffee, and how many of you disconnected, right? Imagine being, 12 years old, 7 hours straight, do what you have to do, and on top of that, English, okay? So they need more interactive things. The day's really long for them. Do you have that 7th hour in Castilla y León? Do you have the 7th hour for English? Séptima hora?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, imagine.
We're looking at conversion factors, or we're calculating scales, we're doing scientific notation, we're making and reading graphs. In literacy, what they're doing is they're reading about planets, they're looking at planet data, they're doing planet research, because when they make their scale model, they have to do a kind of an encyclopedia entry for each of the planets. In sociales, well, we're working on things which are connected to geography, looking at scale maps, how scales work, and also looking at how to create a scale model. So as you can see, something like the planets is a great topic to work on in an interdisciplinary manner. A lot of you today in your action plans have been talking about interdisciplinary work.